His most trusted news source. This is the Fairbanks Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Tragic news tonight out of Newtown, Connecticut as a shooter enters an elementary school and fires on children and adults alike.
As of this evening, 26 have been confirmed killed, 20 of those children. Police investigators are now saying 20-year-old Adam Lanza drove to Sandy Hook Elementary, where his mother worked, entered the building with 3 firearms and carried out the massacre. Lanza's mother is reportedly one of the victims. Earlier reports had the shooter identified as his older brother, 24-year-old Ryan Lanza. The impact of the large-scale tragedy was felt all over the world and even here in Alaska. Fairbanks North Star Borough School Superintendent Pete Lewis had this reaction to today's incident.
Dale, it's just gut-wrenching. I mean, you think about the loss of life and kids and staff. It's unfathomable that something like that could occur. It's unfortunate that, in today's society, these things happen, and that they shouldn't. And we just our hearts go out to all of those families that are involved in this, and it's just a terrible tragedy. Thing to think about in these kinds of circumstances and these kinds of situations is to take care of one another, and if you see something, say something, and keep those relationships open and keep talking. It's important that we all take care of one another.
Lieutenant Governor Meade Treadwell has a close connection to the community of Newtown, Connecticut. Treadwell was a student at Sandy Hook Elementary School, the scene of today's tragedy. The Lieutenant Governor attended school there from 2nd grade through 5th grade. Additionally, the location of today's early morning press conference was Treadwell Park, named after his father, Timothy Treadwell, who was first selectman or mayor of the town from 1968 to 1972. In a Facebook post today, Lieutenant Governor Treadwell says he knew the hallways of Sandy Hook like the back of his hand and that he is heartbroken to hear of today's events. Treadwell added that parents should hug their kids today and appreciate every day we have with each other in this world.
Governor Sean Parnell unveiled details today of his proposed 2014 state budget, a budget he says is leaner and more responsible as projected state revenue continues to decline. The proposed budget is $1.1 billion less than the current year's budget and totals $6.49 billion in state general funds and $12.8 billion when federal funds and permanent funds are included. The budget mirrors the decrease of oil production and oil revenue. The proposed budget focuses on resource development, public safety, education, transportation, and infrastructure. Governor Parnell says his fiscal plan is based on budget discipline and saving for the future.
The Fairbanks North Star Borough Assembly has passed 2 ordinances to make labor negotiations more accessible to the public. The Assembly has already approved an ordinance to put fiscal goals in code and another to make negotiations between the borough and unions open to the public. Now, the biggest change, a switch to performance-based merit pay due to longevity bonuses. Now, both ordinances were amended to go into effect in mid-July 2013, so they won't interfere with the nearly completed contentious negotiations between the borough and the recently unionized borough managers.
A 26-year-old man is in jail on $50,000 bail for the alleged sex abuse of a child said to be under the age of 13. Preston Alexander is charged with a single count of first-degree sexual abuse of a minor, an unclassified felony offense that carries a maximum 99 years in jail. According to local authorities, the alleged offense occurred December 5, 2011 in the Fairbanks area. The Fairbanks Police Department investigated the case. Alexander lives in Nanaulwak, a small village of about 200 people located on the southern tip of the Kenai Peninsula. He was indicted by a grand jury last month, arrested there by Alaska State Troopers, and later transported to Fairbanks to face charges. Trial in his case is set for early March of next year.
All right, now when we come back, Sam's Club brings some Christmas cheer to a small business.
And observing Bill of Rights Day. Stay with us.
This edition of the Fairbanks Evening News is brought to you by Northland Hearing Services. Better hearing with a human touch. Kendall Auto of Fairbanks. And by Nissan. Innovation that excites.
Welcome back. In an effort to expand year-round support for small business growth and success, Sam's Club and the Sam's Club Giving Program have forged a collaboration with national nonprofit SCORE to provide more than $500,000 in supplies, training, and holiday spirit to small businesses. One business locally to receive that aid is the Johnson Family Farm. At the business, William Johnson grows natural and organic items such as lettuce and basil and cilantro, among many others, and provides them to local places such as Lavelle's Bistro and our Fairbanks North Star Borough School District. The news center spoke to Johnson about the program today.
Just a simple contribution, knowing Sam's Club is there for us. Who's the greatest entrepreneur in the world? Sam Wallen. So, just to follow his lead and I don't know, I think that's given back. If you ask me, I think I'm fortunate, and everybody that's involved is really fortunate. So I think for people to produce locally and have everything available to them locally, even with the extreme environmental challenge that we have here, there's anything can be overcome. Adaptability is entrepreneurialism in its finest.
December 15th on a national scale is recognized as the Bill of Rights Day. This year it is the 221st anniversary of the 1791 ratification of the Bill of Rights to the U.S. Constitution. The Bill of Rights are key amendments to the U.S. Constitution that protect our individual rights. On March 4th, 1789, the Constitution of the United States of America was ratified by the former 13 colonies and went into effect. For many years, local officials have recognized the day in a unique way.
Well, these are rights that we can't take it on. Like the First Amendment, it's the freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, and freedom of press, and I think these are important, as well as the rest of the amendments. And a lot of people say that, and I believe that, these are unalienable rights that cannot be given away. They come from our Maker.
Tomorrow, the Fairbanks Figure Skating Club will be hosting a free event for interior residents to enjoy. It will be in the form of a holiday-themed figure skating performance. It'll be held at the Patty Center beginning at 5:30 p.m. and will include skaters ranging from brand new to those who have been skating for 10 years or more. Admission is free, but the Fairbanks Figure Skating Club will be hosting a bake sale and asking for donations for their club. The news center spoke to one of the coaches about the upcoming performance.
Well, I've been working with these kids for the past few years, and I really got to see them grow. I get to see new faces come in and out of our rink, and to see everyone work together, the coaches, the parents, the kids, is what's most important. And around the holiday season, everybody likes to see something fun and festive, and that's really what we've created.
Earlier this week, the world was all abuzz about the unique calendar day 12-12-12. Here in Fairbanks, it was no different, as many things were attributed to the day itself, including some special little ones who made their grand entrance into the world. On Thursday, the news center was introduced to Noelle Jordan Steiner, Jamila Renee Williams, Peyton Annika Picote, and the lone male Jonathan Glenn Hunt, who weighed in at 9.7 ounces and was 23½ inches long. All four share the distinction of having been born at different times on 12-12-12. Officials at Fairbanks Memorial Hospital on Thursday gave us exclusive access to 4 happy mothers, 3 experiencing the joy of parenthood for the very first time, as they talked about the day itself and the unique nature behind it now that their children are tied to it.
I couldn't be happier. And everybody's excited. They got a new baby sister, and it's wonderful having all of them together.
I feel really blessed to have our first daughter start in our family, and especially right before Christmas. And I'm just really excited, and it's just a blessing. I'm truly happy.
Oh, it's so unbelievable. It still feels unreal to me. You know, I didn't think she was going to be here till at least next week, but she was late by like 5 days. And I think her birthday's pretty cool. 12-12-12. We were really hoping for her to be born yesterday, and we barely made it.
We were really excited when we found out it was going to be on, his due date was actually the 11th. But, then when he was born on the 12th, it was really cool because Nathan's mom has gotten family pictures every year, when it was 111 and 222, and so we thought it was kind of cool.
News Center 11's Daryl Lewis will have more on this story tomorrow during the Saturday edition of the Fairbanks Evening News and News Center Final.
And you know, Stephanie, Mike's weather tricorder, that weighs more than 9.7 ounces.
9.7 pounds, not ounces.
9.7 pounds, okay. Or 9 pounds, 7 ounces. There we go, we got it.
There you go. I could. It's Friday.
It's Friday.
And Joe's here. What you got cooking?
Oh, what I got cooking? Well, some basketball, high school basketball to be exact. Monroe and North Pole, they were in action last night. We also look at the games ahead for the Nanox men's and women's basketball teams. That and more coming up in sports next.
Brought to you by the Law Office of Rita T. Alley. Peace of mind through professional legal services.
Hello, Interior Alaska. It's TGIF. The weekend is here, and it will be another great weekend in sports in the interior. Thanks for joining me, but before we get the weekend rolling, let's get to today's Sportscast. First, tonight, we recap some games from some very good high school basketball teams who are away participating in the holiday break tournaments. In boys basketball, the Monroe Catholic Rams, they won again. Their last game before last night was a 70-40 win over West Valley. It was a low-scoring game, but the margin was still the same for the Rams, who were in Anchorage, taking on Houston in the Cougar tip-off tournament at Service High School. The final was 44-14, a big defensive effort by Monroe, shutting out Houston in the third quarter and allowing just 7 points in both halves. The Rams were led by Scooter Bynum, who scored 13 points. Next for the Rams is Eagle River. Other teams in the Cougar tip-off tournament are Palmer, Service, and Seward. The North Pole Patriots girls basketball team was also on the court last night. They started their season very well, winning 2 out of 3, their latest victory over the Nikiski Bulldogs. After a sluggish start, understandably due to the 500-mile trip to the Kenai Central High School gym, the Patriots woke up and got their second wind in the second half. The Patriots muzzled the Bulldogs in a 57-37 win. Senior Reagan Smothers had a game, a season-high 21 points and 4 steals for North Pole. Miss dependable Josie Broderick notched her first double-double of the season with 13 points and 10 boards. But the Patriots were led in the second half by sophomore Willow Stewart, who hit 15 points. Willow caught fire going on a solo quarter. The Patriots are 2-1 to start the season. They face the Kenai Cardinals and the Soldotna Stars on Saturday. Challenge. Now we go up the hill for some college basketball. After the student athletes finish their final exams, the Nanox men's and women's teams will have doubleheaders this Monday and Tuesday to close out 2012. The men host Multnomah, the Lions, who are 6-9 coming in. They have 3 players averaging double figures, but they're led by junior guard Austin Hodges at 21 points per game. One of the things that the Nanox have to shore up is their 3-point defense. The Nanox are dead last in the GNAC, allowing opponents to shoot 42% from the outside, including 77 made 3-point shots. With 9 games in and a game above 500, the Nanox have been able to get their chemistry together on both sides of the ball with their time off from the floor.
Has been an emphasis during these 2 weeks. Obviously, we need a little bit more ball pressure, and we need to jump to the ball a little bit better on the pass. So that's kind of been our emphasis the last 2 weeks.
We're learning a lot about what we can do when we're playing well, but also how bad it could be, if we're not playing well. So we're learning our weaknesses and our strengths for sure. And once you figure that out, it's easier to eliminate the weaknesses and capitalize on your strength.
On the women's side, it's been a tough start for the winless Nanox. Now at 0-7, they will host Dallas Christian College of the National Christian College Athletic Association. The Crusaders are a team that is 1-11 this year. They're led by 2 players averaging about 11 points per game, but junior Jesselyn Flowers is one of their key players. Flowers grabs 11.8 rebounds a game, that's second in the NCCAA, and 2.3 steals per game. So of course, rebounding will be big, but it will be the little things like boxing out, among other things, that the Nanox have been working on during their time off that they feel will be the difference in their last games of 2012.
We've been working on really utilizing the shot clock, being shot ready, the little things playing fundamental. So I think those will be our biggest attributes in these games, is really doing what we do.
Oh man, the little things are every part of what we're trying to do here. And I think that when we pay a lot of attention to detail, the time, the shot, the footwork, they get better shots and they feel better about what they're shooting. And we're keeping track of a lot of the scores and the shots that we take during practice, so it's competitive, so that they're always feeling the thrill of winning, or man, what can they do better? So at the end of the day, the little things are what we've emphasized since we've been practicing these last 2 weeks.
Remember, the Ice Dogs are back home in the Big Dipper this weekend facing the Kenai Brown Bears. Also, it's a rivalry weekend with Lathrop and West Valley facing off in hockey at the Patty on Friday and taking it to the mat in wrestling on Saturday at West Valley. And that'll do it for sports this Friday night. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. New videos are up on our YouTube channel. KTVF 11 Sports has highlights from the Effie Cochran Thanksgiving Holiday Tournament all the way up to this week's interior sports action. So log on and watch. And for all your sports updates, follow at KTVF 11 Sports and myself at KTVF Joe Cook. Stay cool, Alaska. My man Mike Schultz has your full weather forecast coming up next. We'll catch you next time.
Well, it may not weigh 9 pounds, but it is my baby.
Yeah.
9 pounds, 7 ounces.
All right.
It's Friday.
Yeah.
Tell us about the weather.
Well, you're not going to like what I got.
Uh-oh.
I'm not going to be here, so.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. Yeah. Cold temperatures. We talked about it last night, Joe.
Yeah, I know.
Let's take a look at our numbers and show you how they normally look this time of year. The normal high, right around 5 above. The normal low, 12 below. Record high, 35, 1944. Record low, 58 below, 1910. Sunrise this morning, 10:52. Sunset this afternoon, 2:42, giving us 3 hours, 49 minutes, a loss of 2 minutes from yesterday. What's going on in our satellite picture? Again, a little bit of a storm moving across southeast Alaska. Could spin a little snow up around the eastern sections of Alaska, but we're looking at colder temperatures moving in. Speaking of temperatures across the state, we'll tell you about that in just a little bit. Our latest radar shows a little bit of clouds and light snow falling around the Fairbanks area, but that is moving out of the picture too, because it's going to be replaced by a lot of cold air. And what's going on in the lower 48? Well, we're looking at more showers over the Pacific Northwest. Things have cleared up over the Southwest. Snow has moved into the middle plains, or central plains, as I say, in the northern plains, and the rest of the country looking pretty good up and down the eastern seaboard. Now, as far as Alaska's weather is concerned, temperature-wise, you can see we're looking at, again, some showers over the Ketchikan area. Juneau also looking at showers. Cloudy skies for the North Slope, and Fort Yukon 15 below, 21 below at Barrow, and cloudy skies over the southeast. Well, let's get on back to the lower 48 once again and talk about their weather. And you can see we're looking at our satellite picture, again looking at a lot of energy moving across the central plains, kicking up some pretty good thunderstorms across Texas and over the west coast, a little rain also. The overall outlook calling for beneficial mountain snows Saturday over a large portion of the western half of the country, with more rain over the Pacific Northwest. And the overall jet stream for early next week, again, cold temperatures moving in from Canada all the way down as far south as Colorado, showers over the Pacific Northwest. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. In the northern sections, isolated snow for Barrow, partly cloudy for Nome, and mostly cloudy for Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, we'll be looking at cloudy skies with occasional snow flurries for both Fairbanks and Denali Park. Over the southeastern sections, another wet day there, mixed rain and snow showers in Juneau. Ketchikan will have rain. And out to the southwest we go, looking at mixed showers for Cold Bay, partly cloudy in Kodiak and Bethel, and over south central regions, not too bad. Again, mostly sunny at Anchorage, scattered clouds for Homer and Valdez. And again, it's time for our kids' weather, and all this week we've been talking with the kids and the class from Light Elementary School. Speaking of the class, they have a special treat for you tonight.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings for you and you and your kin. Good tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And thanks for that holiday greeting, and thanks again to Mount McKinley Bank. Next week, we're going to be visiting with the kids from Nordale Elementary School. One quick note, it is a Friday night, time for our winter trails report. Even though we got close to a foot of snow in many areas this week, temperatures this weekend will be very frigid, so outdoor activities are really not advised. just dress properly if you're going out. 24 below tonight, mostly cloudy, occasional snow flurries. Tomorrow's forecast, again, cloudy and snow flurries possible, 19 below. And the extended forecast looking at 40 below for the overnight low for Sunday, then a recovery of some sorts for the rest of the week with maybe a chance of snow for Tuesday and Wednesday. So we're going to be looking at cold temperatures, but Miss Stephanie is not. She's going back to her home for the holidays.
Family.
New York.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm going to see my family, so I won't be on the desk. So Merry Christmas to everyone and happy
We will miss
holidays.
you.
I'll see you
Okay.
before the new year.
Okay.
Yep.
Bring back some buffalo wings.
Sure.
I will.
Before we go, 'tis the season for giving, and many local businesses give year-round. Have they adopted a family or a senior, donated to a nonprofit, or given in some other way? Now, KTVF wants to hear about it, so nominate a business you know that gives unto others by visiting webcenter11.com. During the month of December, click our contest link and tell us what good deeds that company's been up to. Then on January 2nd, we'll choose a winning business and give back to them free production and airtime on KTVF Channel 11.
All right, that sounds good. And that'll wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We're glad you could join us.
Join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
And if you see news in the making, call the newsroom at 458-1830.
From all of us here at the News Center, have a great night.
Good night.